Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Zaki, and right now I will explain to you about my upcoming paper about the impact of sociolinguistic on EFL learners on personal injury discovery. This paper is actually my potential paper that I would like to bring in the step ahead of my paper. And because this thing it's based on my interest about how variety is language is. So we're gonna next to the next sessions. Before we jump into the main sessions, I'd like to inform you the content, what I have for you as a review. The first one is we had Introduction to Sociolinguistic in EFL Context. And the second one that we had Personal Discovery and Passion for Foreign Language, which is the base surface what I want to bring this to my own paper. Introduction to Sociolinguistic in EFL Context, Chapter 1. The definition of important and of sociolinguistic. The key concept, in sociolinguistic, between that examines the relationship between language and social factors, including context, culture, and community, offering insight that essential for understanding language used in diverse settings. Sociolinguistic even means in the more simple way that we actually could understand what people are saying by using a language as a form of communication. That's like the simple definition of this. Next, this is the second point that this the important, of sociolinguistic that it has a relevancy to language learning and teaching. Understanding sociolinguistic can enhance EFL teaching methods, enabling educators to address cultural nuances, social interaction, and the impact of language variations of learners' experience. So if we can understand, how sociolinguistic it works, we know that it's not just only one form of language, it's a form of a thousand of an accent of words of vocab that we actually heard in every someone's accent and versus like how they speak of course tend to be different, so that's why we had to know what was the best interaction that we could possibly have so we could engage them towards the form of communication that we are having in the certain times. Next, this is the role of language variety and identity. First, dialect and accent EFL learning, and the second one is language and cultural identity in learners. First one is dialect and accent shape learners' perceptions of language and communications, influencing their confidence and engagement in EFL learners and EFL environment, sorry. And also, they are actually warranting careful consideration for pedagogy. If you are a teacher, you had to know the psychology between a person speak this, person speak this, especially when we know that we are a English language teacher. We had to know someone's ability to be able how they speak, how far they could speak, how far they could comprehend and everything. So being, as a teacher, as a mentor of your student is actually really important to make learners like how they shape a perception of communication and how can they engage even to their peers or even to us as a teachers. The second one is language and cultural identity in learners. Language serves as a key marker of cultural identity. By recognizing this can foster a supportive learning atmosphere and also encouraging students to embrace their linguistic backgrounds while acquiring new language skills. Personal discovery and passion for foreign language. So this is just like I've taught, just like I explained earlier that this paper is that's why I would like to would bring it up, because this is based on my own story and also my interest about foreign language. So the reason, why I want to bring this paper is because This is really interesting because how a language can vary, between a certain dialect, even though we are actually speaking English, there gonna be dialect or accents that may differ from any one of us, especially when we meet Indonesian, they're gonna speak English really different than people who from somewhere like Malaysia, they're also gonna speak a different. That's what the reason, why I really want to well, I really want to learn new language. So, it's all really interesting. So this is my journey with the Finnish language. If you didn't know, Finnish language is actually a language that people in Finland spoke, or maybe Finnish people always call it Suomi instead of Finnish. So, but right now we're gonna talk about the Finnish language. So the first one is initial attraction to Finnish. The Finnish language, it's so unique and also phonetic and structure captured my attentions, and it's because also it has leading me, to explore its rich cultural and historical context, fostering an early passion for language learning. The second one is that insight gain from learning Finnish. This is like why I really want to fluent in Finnish, because I also gain an insight, from it. Through studying Finnish, I develop a deeper appreciation for language complexity, also the related base that is related on my paper as well, and cultural nuances and the importance of context, which significantly, enhance my overall linguistic skill. Integrating sociolinguistic awareness into language learning. Strategies for EFL learners, implementing sociolinguistic strategies, such as context based on learners, and interaction with the native speakers that can empower English as a foreign language learners to better understand language in its social environment. And the second one is that promoting sociolinguistic competence in the classroom also can encouraging discussion around language use in a different social context that helps students recognize the diversity of a language and enhances their ability to communicate effectively in varied situations. So that's all from me. Thank you. Before we closing, I have a quote, from a Finnish quotes. It means like operaya sytytä kiipinän, joka voi valaiseta koko elämän. This is actually an education quote, which is like no matter how hard it is, no matter how variety of teaching that you would like to apply, the only thing that best is what outcome from your students. So thank you so much. This is my presentations. I'm sorry if there's anything that it's I'm sorry if there's anything that maybe my words or something. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.